Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Wednesday, March 23rd. You can see temperatures out there in the 30s across mid-Michigan, but into the upper 40s across the southeast part of the state, even low 50s. And we got a cold front that's trying to press some of that cold air into the area down to 34 here in Breckenridge. And as precipitation begins to fall, I think we'll start out with some snow and mix. That'll be then snow for a few hours, and then I think we'll gradually across the mid-Michigan area change things over to freezing rain, and we look for that freezing rain to pick up in intensity overnight into tomorrow morning, even a chance of a thunderstorm as we get into the early hours tomorrow into later in the day, but then we'll warm up again. So any ice we get hopefully will begin to melt by tomorrow afternoon somewhat as we see temperatures push up towards 40 degrees, but until then, we got some very hazardous conditions, and we again could see power outages as we get into tonight into tomorrow morning, with up to a half-inch or more of ice expected, and then heavier snow as you get off farther north into lower Michigan. If we take a look at the Great Lakes, you can see temperatures mainly in the 30s across the lower peninsula until you get down to the southern part of the state, where again upper 40s to low 50s, and temperatures back in the 20s, where they'll miss the majority of the storm back into the UP. Looks like the hardest hit areas are going to be across northern and central lower Michigan here over the next 36 hours. If we take a look at the normals for today, our normal high is 44, the normal low is 24. And again, you can see we had a record high of 80 set back in 1910, 106 years ago. We're going to not be anywhere near that for quite some time to come, as we have plenty of cold air in our pattern coming up here over the next couple of weeks. If we look at the Weather Watch map this morning, you can see those winter storm warnings all the way from Michigan extending back into southern Minnesota and parts of Iowa. Again, a significant amount of snow across much of this area, with some decent amount of freezing rain across the southern periphery of this warning area. If we look at the weather map this morning, you can see our lead low pressure system now moving through the state. And again, behind us, that's going to help to filter that cooler air behind and push this front south. And then our main storm center will then track up that front as it extends into southeast lower Michigan. And by later on this afternoon, you can see again, we're going to see some snow and freezing rain and sleet develop across the central and northern portions of the state. And if we look at the forecast map, by tomorrow morning, our low pressure system now in southeast Iowa is going to head towards southern lower Michigan and spread quite a bit of freezing rain overnight into tomorrow morning across much of mid-Michigan, with heavier amounts of snow as you get to the north. If we look at the forecast map, by Friday, that system will zip on by, but you can see more activity is going to be moving in as we get towards the weekend, but we'll worry about that for now. If we look at the next map, you can see tonight at 7 o'clock, when the precipitation begins to really fall at a pretty good clip, I think, we're going to see temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s. This is the GFS map. The European map would have temperatures around 27 to 30 across much of mid-Michigan, so a couple of degrees cooler, leading to confidence that we could see quite a bit of ice accumulation here as we go through the nighttime hours. As far as snowfall, you can see primarily from around the Wago, Breckenridge, Middleton area, or towards Brown City and Marlette off to the north. And again, I think much of this area here will not be snow, but be more in the way of frozen precipitation. But certainly at the onset and then at the end, we could see a couple of inches of snow across the area. And again, if the temperature profiles end up being a little cooler, then we could see more in the way of freezing rain farther south and more in the way of freezing rain snow across mid-Michigan. Something we're just going to have to continue to watch very closely, being right on that borderline. If we look at the precipitation amounts, and this was on kind of on the scary side, as you can see, the GFS over the next 48 hours putting down about 2 to 2.5 inches across the areas of the Saginaw Valley. And again, if that's a lot of that is in the form of freezing rain or snow, it could be quite a mess across the area. Right now, it looks like Gratiot, Midland, Isabella, Saginaw counties, Bay County. Certainly those areas we're going to want to watch very close to see what the precipitation type is when much of this precipitation falls. As far as the what the WPC is forecasting over the next 7 days, you can see a lot of precipitation from the Great Lakes all the way up to the St. Lawrence Seaway into southwest Ontario, where many locations will pick up between 2 and 3 inches of rain. And it's to be noted, during the next 10 days, the European puts out an area from Grand Rapids up towards Saginaw Bay, and about 30 miles either side of that line, of around 5 to 6 inches of precipitation. So again, we've got a lot of moisture heading this way here over the next week or so. And if we look at the forecast, you can see the UP pretty much misses out on this storm. We'll have temperatures up there in the low 30s today, And as far as the northern lower peninsula, snow develops with low 30s, and it'll pick up in intensity as we get late in the afternoon and early evening. And then across mid-Michigan, freezing rain, sleet, snow, pretty much the whole gamut today. And then I think we transition to mainly freezing rain with a little bit of mixture of sleet or snow tonight. And we'll see our temperatures today 34 to 35 or 9, but then they'll fall here as we get into the late afternoon. Temperatures warmer around the Lansing area with highs around the low to mid 40s with an 80% chance of showers, especially by the afternoon. And then we stay pretty much dry across southern lower Michigan, and temperatures up 55 to 60 degrees or so as you get down south. Their precipitation will hold off mainly until tonight, and you can see for forecast for tonight, you can see plenty of snow, heavy at times across the north, 2 to 4 inches. Again, across the area of mid-Michigan, this is where the area of highest concern, I think, should be. We expect temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s with moderate to possibly heavy freezing rain at times, with at least a quarter to a half inch plus of ice accumulation. And then for the Lansing and south central lower Michigan, mainly low to mid 30s with a chance of rain, maybe some mixture of freezing rain. But again, primarily a rain event from around I-96 on south, and then rain across the southern part of the state with temperatures around 40 tonight. And then for tomorrow, we're going to see the continuation of snow, possibly heavy at times, possibly mixing with freezing rain across the northern areas, with a total storm accumulations around 4 to 8 inches across the northern areas around Houghton Lake and Roscommon, and across mid-Michigan. Looks like freezing rain, especially in the morning, and then I think we'll transition to some showers, maybe some thunderstorms across much of the southern part of the state. Overall, mid-Michigan looks like about possibly as much as a half to 3/4 of an inch. But again, you've seen the quantitative precipitation forecast for the Saginaw Valley, so we're going to have to watch these totals. We could, again, have quite a mess on our hands as we get into tomorrow morning. And then farther south, temperatures getting into the upper 40s, low 50s, and even low 60s across far southern lower Michigan, with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day, and 73s to all.